Infrared heating is like heat from the sun, the oldest type of heating known. It heats people and objects, not the air. Infrared's ability to heat people and objects makes it perfect for supplemental heating in buildings. Let's first look at how most large open buildings are heated. Usually, forced air heaters, also called unit heaters, are installed because their high BTU capacity allows a small number of heaters to cover a large area. Forced air unit heaters warm air by convection. Louvers initially guide the hot blown air down towards the work floor where heat is needed. But the hot air rises very quickly, stopped only by insulated walls and roofs. To heat the work floor, forced air heaters must work until they fill the building downwards with warm air. Poor insulation makes this task difficult, if not impossible, even if the forced air heaters run constantly. High ceilings or bays further burden the heating system by causing the heat to rise faster and move even farther away from the work floor. If the building is well insulated, ceiling fans might help move some of this warm air down. But the combination of blowing air from the forced air heaters and the ceiling fans creates constant, uncomfortable air movements that make the work floor feel cold. If the building is not well insulated, ceiling fans won't work at all because there is so little warm air to push down in the first place. Unfortunately, high bay buildings are usually also poorly insulated because of their size. Supplemental Aitken infrared heat is ideal for buildings with poor insulation or high ceilings. Radiant heat from infrared heaters passes through the air to heat people, floors, walls, and machinery. Workers are comfortably located between the direct radiant heat of the overhead infrared and the secondary heat from the floor and machinery. Floors stay warm, heating workers' feet. And when workers' feet are warm, workers feel warm. This secondary heat from objects and floors is steady and relatively unaffected by large air movements. A good rule of thumb is the less your insulation, the higher your ceilings, or the greater your air change, the more you need Aitken infrared to help your heating system. True spot or partial heating of buildings is only possible with infrared. Forced air unit heaters cannot spot heat because their warm air is immediately spread throughout the entire building. By angle mounting Aitken infrared heaters, you can effectively heat small portions of a very large open building. Infrared heaters can work in conjunction with your existing forced air heaters. Infrared heats localized work areas to 65 degrees, while your unit heaters maintain a minimum ambient temperature of 50 degrees. This spot heating saves you substantial money because the incremental energy to raise the entire building from 50 to 65 degrees with forced air heaters is enormous. Spot infrared heat is perfect for areas that would otherwise be impossible or financially impractical to heat with forced air heaters. Locker rooms, restrooms, lunch rooms, and short assembly lines within large drafty buildings can all benefit from spot heating. Very specific sections of a warehouse, such as the aisles between shelving, can be spot heated. A notorious area of heat loss, even in well-insulated buildings, is the loading dock. Large open doors draw in cold outdoor air while warm indoor air is sucked out in what is known as the vortex effect. When loading dock doors are finally shut, forced air heaters must slowly rebuild their warm air bank. On the other hand, buildings with Aitken infrared heat recover quickly because the infrared has heated objects, not the air. Objects retain this heat, and are much less affected by large air movements. So infrared is ideal for buildings with constant air movement. For example, drafty foundries, welding shops, mills, airplane hangars, automotive dealerships, repair shops, wherever you want to heat people and objects, not the ever-changing air. There are two major types of Aitken electric infrared heaters. The first, quartz lamp infrared heaters, can transfer radiant heat over long distances and through drafty areas. This makes them ideal for buildings with very high ceilings or bays. Solar beam quartz heaters are also recommended for extremely drafty buildings. Outdoors, solar beam quartz heaters melt snow and ice at entrances, walkways, vestibules, auto tellers, parking ramps, bus waiting areas, train passenger platforms, wherever you need constant control over the sudden hazards of slippery ice and snow. Aitken solar beam heaters can also comfort spectators at stadiums and arenas, encourage window shopping and ATM use, and draw cold people into warm mall lobbies. Durable metal sheath is the second major type of electric infrared. Metal sheath infrared heaters excel at indoor spot heating. Their damage-resistant elements are ideal for possible impact area use, such as gyms and indoor tennis courts. Metal sheath heaters can be cycled to hold a predetermined temperature, permitting greater comfort control and increased energy savings during all types of winter weather. The precise and even heat of metal sheath makes it perfect for process heat applications, such as the curing of powder coat paints. Metal sheath infrared also makes rugged portable heaters that roll right up to work sites. Aitken portables heat in any position, on their sides, back, even face down. Like all electric infrared heaters, portables produce no byproducts of combustion and no fumes, so they can be used indoors or out. To clean, metal sheath heaters are easily disconnected and hosed off with water, greatly simplifying heater maintenance, especially in harsh, dirty environments. The economy of infrared can be shown many ways. The major money-saving use of infrared is when you turn down your forced air unit heaters for a lower ambient building temperature that is supplemented by spot infrared heaters. And Aitken infrared heaters last much longer than unit heaters because they have no moving parts. To realize how important infrared is for saving energy and money, look to Europe. Western Europe's climate is very similar to that of the United States, but Europe has much higher energy costs and a stronger tradition of energy conservation. Therefore, it's no surprise that Europe uses twice the amount of infrared heating that the U.S. does. Finally, the most important savings from infrared supplemental heating is increased worker productivity. A cold, complaining worker moves slowly and inefficiently. He has a hard time concentrating on his work, and safety considerations tend to be ignored. Oftentimes, the addition of just a few infrared heaters can dramatically improve worker morale and productivity in areas previously impossible or impractical to heat with forced air heaters. If you have a cold building with poor insulation, high ceilings, and frequently open doors, Aitken will save you money by providing just the right amount of heat to the areas that need it most. To find out how infrared heat will keep you warmer using less energy, call Aitken Products for a free computerized heat analysis. Aitken has over 100 types of infrared heaters and a stocking program that allows 92% of all orders to be shipped in 24 hours. For expert heating advice, durable products, and fast delivery, Aitken is your answer.